I am here in ADHD land, and I made a video about why this world is ADHD land. That's not this video. I just came to this world to express my ADHD thought because I have one of those, and I really want some input on this to see if you guys think I'm onto something or if I'm just a lunatic and that I have ADHD, but I'm going to burn myself out. Because I think I might, but I think that might be okay, and that's totally trying to figure out a little bit more about how I work and how the ADHD brain works. And maybe burning oneself out doesn't have to be a bad thing if you can do it the right way. Not that I think I'm heading to burning myself out necessarily, but maybe I could be. Let's talk about it. Because I just barely had the moment where I had done my filming, and after it was a roughly 4 hours start to finish, including setting up and getting everything edited and uploaded. I got 5 videos out, one for Phineas Form or Longer, the longer form, which was the entire editing, like edited video, film session. But then there were 4 separate unique videos on the inside of it that are going to my main channel, which is where this video was posted. So I made that this morning, edited all of that stuff together, had a blast doing it because it turns out I just love virtual reality work and I love making videos, except for now I just have a lot of videos and I don't know when I want to post them. Because then by the time I'm still making more videos, we'll see. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. All I want to say is that I already did my VR stuff and I have other stuff to do. I have a visual novel I have to go finish the English translations of, which feels weird because it came to me in a rough translation, but I guess a lot of it was AI assisted also, or like just Google, like I have work to do. And then I have my job, I actually have my physical human person work to do later on this week. So I have limited time basically, and then I'm on about a 2 week deadline for that visual novel work. So I was going to go work on that, which makes sense intellectually. I did a lot of video work today and got caught up on that endeavor, and now I've got videos ready for the next 4 days, today being one of them. So I could theoretically not touch video work again or filming for a while and be totally satisfied because I've got 4 days of runway before I'm worried about running out of videos to make. So I got my bicycle ready to go, I got everything ready to go, and I was ready to head out to go to a coffee shop to work on the visual novel, and then after that, I was going to be able to take the rest of the night off and have some fun times. That fell apart a wee bit, and I was ready to move on to other parts of my day today. And then as I was heading out, I had this, I was like, oh man, come on, I was doing killer over here. Are you kidding me? Today I operated according to whimsy. I didn't even spend an hour on my phone in bed. It was only like 40 minutes. And then I came out, put on my 88, or my, okay, Phineas, take a second, goodness gracious. Put on my virtual reality gear after making breakfast and getting things together. Like, it's been a very splendid day so far. And the idea that my impulse was to get back into VR to do more filming didn't make sense to me because I don't want to get burned out on filming or editing. And so I already made a whole bunch of videos. Why do I feel like I need to get back into it? Because I don't want to burn myself out on VR. I love this right now, and I was worried about burning myself out, which is why I was ready to take a break. And plus, I finished a project. Like, I didn't need to start a new one. And it seems like starting a new one would be detrimental because I don't need to be starting a new one, is what my brain was telling me, up until my heart told me, okay, leaving doesn't feel right. And so I sat for a second after like 10, 15 minutes of just breathing exercises, sitting. Then I come to realize, like, okay, well, I'll put back on VR gear, because as I sat and took stock of things, I started to map out a bit of what's coming up and realize there's a music thing this weekend that I would like help with. And so I made a video that was going to be reaching out to my audience, small but mighty though we are, to see if anyone would want to hold my hand as we were going to that music festival. It's something I want to try, but I need help doing that. And then by the time I get the impression to film that small video where I'm asking people, hey, do you want to help me come to a concert? Then I had the idea of making this exact video talking about ADHD burnout and how I wanted to avoid that, so I didn't want to put on the headset till I decide, okay, we're just going to follow through on that anyway and get back into VR, even though it doesn't make intellectual sense to me right now. But I kind of think if I get in a bunch of VR stuff now, then I've got fodder not just for 4 days, but videos I can edit and upload and work on as it's necessary for longer than that, maybe like a week's worth of videos, because I'm not always going to be able to get into VR. And today it just so happens to have a golden, I've got the day off, the roommate's at work, and this weekend when I go to that music festival, he'll be around. Well, oh, maybe he will, I don't know. But it's good to, I don't know, just handle things when it's appropriate. And right now it happens to be quite appropriate to do VR work, and I'm in the mood for it, so I'm gonna hit it. I was worried about burnout, but anytime I've burned out on any of my endeavors, I always end up coming back. I just have to fall apart for a little bit and get back to it when I'm ready. VR work and videocraft is different than wordcraft. I can get burned out making video stuff and then that same day go and write or edit something or program, and I'm not burned out because those are different disciplines. They take different energies. It's different. And if you're not careful and you run all of the way and you're only driving yourself, then you as a human person can burn out. And that's when you just fall apart, the depression comes in, and then you're like laying in bed and you're wondering, what the fuck am I doing? What's wrong with me? And to prevent that grand burnout, that's when it's really important to still take your evenings off. Once I'm done with all of this, I'm going to go play some sound arcade games at the local Round 1. I'm stuck deep in Sound Voltex lately, and so I have something fun to look forward to when I'm done with all this, because I'm taking the night off after I'm done doing all of this work that I've had going on. And at this point, I'm putting off my visual novel work again, because I've been putting it off for 2 months, not all of the way intentionally, it just kind of happened. But my idea is if I stack my VR work now at the front of the week, then later on I can have days that I dedicate to my visual novel editing work. So I can dive in, get the flow state, get ready with my copious amounts of coffee or whatever I need, and go to a cafe and do some work. And then when I need a change of scenery, I go to a different cafe or go to a bar, or just live my very best visual novel editor life, because that's one of my hobbies that I want to be able to cycle to, but also it's an obligation I picked up on, and it's just very important to be able to do. I want to be able to do it all the way. Being in a position where I could do it for hours at a time instead of I did video work and now I'm going into my visual novel stuff, and changing gears within a day, totally doable. And I was thinking I don't want to burn out on video work, so I'll do some of that today and then I'll transition to doing some other things today. Sure, but it takes energy to transition activities. And if I stayed in one activity for maybe not necessarily even long enough, because I took a break between filming sessions, had to let my headset charge, and then I had lunch and stuff. But it was easier to get back into VR because that was still the mentality I was in, opposed to going and transitioning into visual novel work. And if I stack things up now, I can dedicate my full time to one of my other fixations lately and go all in when the time is right. I was worried about my video work getting burned out, but if I treat myself correctly, I don't think I will burn out. And if I do enough work now, I might be able to get away with burning out on video work, having a week to recover from video work, up to a week, and then I can come back to it and do more video work when the next time comes. Instead of trying to keep everything on my mind all at once, which is juggling too many pieces and spinning so many plates, and then you're trying to juggle and then it can't all, and then it falls to the ground, and then you feel worthless and you wonder what's wrong with you. I'm maintaining that same system where I'm trying to do everything all at once, but using days of a week instead of hours of a day. So I still get the satisfaction of moving between tasks because I like having a lot of different things going on. I find that wildly invigorating. So I don't have to confine myself to only doing my video work, and that's just what I'm focused on long term, because I have a lot of video stuff and a lot of ideas and things on the way. And it's stifling to try and confine myself to that too much. So I can have enough discipline and maintain focus on one of these things for a day, which still takes energy. But then by the time I'm able to shift around and have more fun in different disciplines on different days, I think there might be something to that. It could look like burning myself out on one of my hobbies temporarily until I have all of this time off to recover from that particular hobby sphere, so I can go back to it another time and be fully refreshed, and in the interim, I'm able to work on other things. That's the theory I'm going with. That's how I'm justifying getting into virtual reality for a second time today and making even more videos, even though I made videos earlier and I thought I was done. And I was telling myself I was done and that it was time to move on to other things. But I think if I take a step back and think out of the box a little bit, and I have a scattered, staticky, weird ass head anyway, I am outside of the box. I'm going to try listening to that and see what operating outside of the box looks like, because staying within the box, one thing at a time, doesn't really work. So I'm trying that out. Let me know what you think of the idea, and I'll give you more updates about how this has gone later on. It just felt really important to share this ADHD mechanism that I'm toying around with. I'll let you know how it goes. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.